Hi betting experts, on Saturday March the 30th, a traditional ITV 7 on Saturday, some varied action, deep ground slogs in the mud at Haydock and some competitive flat action on the turf at Musselburgh as their season gets underway. We start off with our betting expert Daily Nap, sponsored by Bet365. This runs in the 150 at Musselburgh, the Virgin Bet Royal Mile handicap, over a mile for 3-year-olds, and I think individualism is an extremely interesting runner here for the Charlie Johnson yard. Now, Charlie has been doing well since taking over from his father, Mark, and they're in really good form. He's had 4 winners in the last fortnight on the all-weather and on the turf, and this promising 3-year-old, I think, is extremely well treated, now going handicapping for the first time ahead of this seasonal reappearance. He did disappoint on his final run on very heavy ground last season, but his previous placed efforts in some pretty warm juvenile company marks him down as being really well treated starting out here over a mile. I like the fact that Joe Fanning's booked. I'm expecting a positive front-running ride. This is his manner, Joe Fanning, for leading and pulling out extra against that far rail. And I think this sharp mile on a bit of eased, decent ground should be absolutely ideal. He's the sort of horse could easily rattle up a sequence in the next few weeks. Our betting expert value angle selection, sponsored by Bet365, goes in the 240 at Haydock, the Stayers Hurdle Series final, a handicap over an extended 3 miles, a Class 2 for 4-year-olds and upwards, and one I've had my eye on here is Domore Bay from the Emma Lavelle yard. Now, this unexposed performer has shaped with promise in 2 runs in handicaps so far, and I think his freshness at this stage of the season can count for plenty against some rivals who've been hammering away in deep ground for most of the winter. Regular rider Tom Bellamy's booked, and I think this proper test of stamina will suit ideally. He's going to get a patient ride in what's sure to be a very strongly run race. There's 3 or 4 definite front runners. They tend to get racing a long way out to Haydock and get tired up the straight, particularly on soft, heavy ground, and I think Tom will be looking to pounce late on this unexposed performer. The remaining 5 races on ITV on Saturday, we'll do them in time order, staying at Haydock for the 205, another handicap hurdle, this time over 2 miles, series finale. Again, I'm looking for freshness to count for plenty. Playful Saint has only run once for the Skeltons this season. He got touched off at Stratford, having been very well backed. I don't think he was particularly at ease on the track there. Undulating left-handed sort of track Stratford does take a bit of knowing, and he just got mugged by Mildam, the pair miles clear of the rest. He's been freshened up since. A strongly run 2 miles here should be absolutely ideal, and the Skeltons can do absolutely nothing wrong at the minute. I think they've had 8 winners in the last fortnight. They're absolutely flying, and this one seems sure to go close. Back to Musselburgh for the 225, are absolutely impossible 7 furlong handicap here. Darkness has got his conditions. He should be fit because O'Mara is going pretty well, unusually well. Normally I'd say David O'Mara's runners need a run or 2, but they are having winners first time out, and I think he seems sure to go close, for this is a really valuable prize. He's likely to be fit, and his mark has eased back down a few pounds after disappointing towards the end of last season. Staying at Musselburgh for the 3 o'clock, a sprint over 5 furlongs. Well, it's only here in Epsom where they run these sprints in under a minute. It's a real rapid one, and I think Silky Wilkie, who's attracted interesting market support over the last couple of days since the prices went up, is likely to continue the good run of Carl Burke. Now, he's got plenty of early pace at his disposal. They've booked the promising £7 claimer Sam Fielden for the ride. I think he'll try and have him banged out the stalls for this 45 grand prize, and hopefully his little race fitness he's been running on the all-weather with promise can count for plenty. Back to Haydock for a veterans handicap at 3.15 over 2 mile 4. Well, Lee Ligerian of Joe Tizard has still got plenty of his ability. He's relatively lightly raced for his age, and if he can put in a clean round of jumping here, the soft ground will suit him, and this intermediate trip should be fine. They're going to go a proper gallop. 2 or 3 of these old stages are definitely front runners, and Ligerian is likely to get a very patient ride. And finally up to Musselburgh for their day's feature race, the Queen's Cup at 3.35, a test of stamina. This 1 mile 6 Class 2 for 4-year-olds and upwards. Well, Berkshire Rocco represents a stable I actually love on the flat. Andrew Balding is so perfectly places his horses, has a good strike rate throughout the season. I don't remember him having many runners at Musselburgh in the past, so I think it's significant that he's been drawn up here for this valuable handicap. This Berkshire Rocco is quirky, needs finessing at the right time, doesn't want to be in front for too long, but has got a touch of class. All of his form really is in the south, in slightly stronger company, and I think David Probert can pounce late. Best of luck with all 7 ITV races on Saturday, betting experts.